I was once sitting in a station waiting for my train. One of the many homeless people gravitating around train stations came to sit on the same bench where I was. The poor lady deposited her plastic bags on the ground next to her feet, but after a while she started nodding and fell asleep. I was just watching there, whatever was happening in the station. At one point, another homeless man passed in front of our bench, and as quick as lightning, he grabbed the plastic bags of the poor lady and just made off with them. Moments later, the lady woke up, startled to find her bags missing. She just panicked. She got up from the bench, not knowing what to do, where to go. She had lost all her possessions. I had been observing the whole thing, and I was only an anxious traveler myself in a foreign country. But I saw the man coming. I saw him grabbing the bags. I saw him walking away. I could have done 1,000 things, but I did nothing. I couldn't be at peace with myself for a long time afterwards, seeing the panic on the poor lady's face, her helplessness, her despair. I could never forgive myself for doing nothing, and I felt as responsible as the thief himself for the grief and distress of that poor lady. Someone once said, "They also serve who only stand and wait." Yes, those who just wait and do nothing may be either heroes or scoundrels. The difference is in the kind of waiting, how we wait. Some people wait in readiness for the right time and place to serve, to do their part, to make the world a better place. Some people spend their lives waiting for nothing to happen that disturbs their comfortable passiveness. Nearing the end of the liturgical year, the Church is inviting us to examine our own kind of waiting for the end of times. Yes, the world will come to an end. But how are we waiting? We can wait actively, but we can wait passively. We can wait to be saved by avoiding all risks and play what we think is the safe game. We lead paralyzed, squeaking clean lives, doing nothing wrong, which often means doing nothing. We stick to the minimum requirements. We keep our talent safely buried, hidden, but passively unproductive. We have nothing to contribute to life, to the world, to others. We just protect ourselves. Because we have nothing to give, but everything to lose. So we just become protective and closed in on ourselves. This is surviving by passive omission. It's sitting on the train station bench, watching the world pass by, people suffering, watching the news, seeing all the disasters in the world, people suffering because they are victims and they fall victims of thieves and robbers, and we just do nothing. It's the clean way of supporting thieves and robbers, which means it's becoming one of them. But in the words of Milton, we can be the heroes Waiting, yes, but actively to stand up to the evil spirits when we are called to. When he stealthily attacks poor humanity like that homeless robber, robbing humanity of its fleeting life. We can build a more just and peaceful world by actively getting involved and risking all we have. On that bench, I did not have the strength to risk. I'm not speaking just of the heroes who impress us with their admirable courage and extraordinary achievements, the people we see on statues. I'm speaking of those heroes who risk everything in their lives through their everyday, day by day dedication and self-giving. From parents with children to nurses, doctors, teachers, priests, garbage collectors, craftsmen, etc. They have chosen to serve and not to exploit their clients. The talents God has given us are not simply our abilities, our qualities, our qualifications. Just like I remember an international toy company called itself Toys R Us. Just like that internationally toy company, we can say, the talents are us. We are the talents. Talents are not things we have or things that are given to us. Talents are us in our diversity. That's why Jesus speaks of 5 talents, 2 talents, 1 talent. That's not more or less. It's simply different, diverse. God does not give much to someone and little to another. The talents that the Master entrusts to us, his servants, in the parable, represent the uniqueness and diversity of our very identity. Each one of us in our own uniqueness. And there is no greater love than this, to give one's life. That is the only real talent we have been given, our life. The challenge is, what are we doing with our lives so that they may bear fruit? Are we trying simply to protect selfishly so that we keep our lives for ourselves because we are so afraid of losing the little that we have? Or are we just offering it openly and taking the risk of loving others? Our materialistic and godless culture has chosen the second path. Each one is deeply and greatly concentrated and locked up in his or her own self. And our culture is now speaking of rights, speaks of autonomy, self-determination, self-interest. It's all we hear is my money, it's my status, it's my comfort, my pleasure, my body, my life. And we seem to be wondering why our lives are shrinking into isolated little prisons, which we call comfort zones. I'm comfortably locked up in myself. No, Jesus is not speaking of talents, of money, riches, qualities that we need to invest wisely in profitable stocks and shares. It's not making more money that life is about. Jesus is speaking of the giving, not of the getting. And so many people are so concentrated on getting that they have lost the joy of giving. Jesus is speaking of the unique gift that each one of us is, whatever our abilities or disabilities, potentials or limitations, diversity of nationality, social classes, sex, gender, religions, convictions. If only we accepted the risk of becoming the gift that we can be to others, if only we offered all our abilities and open-heartedness to those around us with a trusting and loving heart. Then and only then will we discover the joy and meaningfulness of life. We will no longer see other people as competitors or dangerous risks. We will start seeing them as cherished brothers and sisters. We will no longer be sitting there paralyzed, waiting for our departure in our train station benches, that is, our comfort zones, whilst our brothers and sisters are being robbed and killed and maimed and destroyed, crushed in front of our eyes. We will have the joy, the courage to stand up and wait to be counted in making God's marvelous dream for us come true amongst us. And this dream is only one. That they may all be one, said Jesus. As you and me, Father, we are one. Yes, waiting for the end of times is not a passive, helpless, and hopeless experience. It is not just waiting for death to catch up with us and the inevitable to arrive. No, it is an active and fruitful waiting, building the beautiful world that God has always dreamt for us and that He has entrusted to us. This is our commission. So let us not allow our omissions to destroy our noblest and life-giving commission. God bless you and thank you.